Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix your own squat form by watching your squat videos. Before I get into this topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. If you need coaching, I'd love to work with you. Check out the link down below. All right, so squats. If you want to learn how to fix your squats and you're a little bit confused, do I have good squat form? Why do my squats feel a little bit off? Am I on the right track? Why am I picking up knee stress? Why am I picking up hip stress? I'm going to teach you guys in this video how to analyze your squat form so you can kind of look for common issues, or basically one of the most common issues, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. We're going to look at the most common issue, and I'm going to show you guys how to work on that and how to fix that. Now, we're not going to fix your entire squat in this video, but in my years of coaching, I have found what we're going to talk about in this video to be the number one issue with squatting. Now, first off, when you're filming your videos, you need to film them from behind. I recommend filming from about hip level, looking directly on from behind. This will allow you to get the best view when it comes to the angle of your feet, the angle of your knees, and your overall squat form. You make sure you can see your heels and your feet in this video because that is an essential. Now, we're going to talk about a couple things in this video. We're going to talk about your heels, your feet, and we're going to talk about your knees. The first thing you want to look for in this video is when you are sinking, when you are going down in your squat, do you see your feet, your heels rising and rolling in a little bit? I want you to watch for this really, really closely on every rep. Film a set of squats and watch your heels. Do they rise and roll in? A lot of times lifters will mistake this for some sort of mobility issue, ankle mobility issue, some issue with their limb links and leverages, when in reality, this is just a poor setup, and I'm going to help you fix it. So you want to watch for this, and it can be very nuanced, but even if you see a little degree of your heels rising and rolling in as you reach depth, that's a sign that your knees are probably not out enough. Now, knees in squatting, what I call knees in squatting, is generally the most common form issue when it comes to squats. I see this issue probably on at least 70% of squats, if not 80% of squats. When I'm looking at form videos, lifters will have their knees a little bit inside of the angle of their feet. Now, when you squat, you want basically your knees to stay over your toes, wherever the angle of your feet are. When you squat, the angle of the thigh should be at about the same angle as your foot. If it's inside just a little bit, or you're pressing your knees in a little bit just due to tentativeness or bad habits, what's going to happen is as you squat, that knee is inside of that foot angle, and it's going to cause those heels to rise up and turn in. If you're just standing here in your squat position and you push your knees in, what do you notice happening? You can notice your ankles turning in and the weight moving to the center of your foot. This is exactly what's happening when you're doing a knees in squatting, when that knee is angled just a little bit in or a lot in inside of the angle of the foot. A lot of lifters develop this just as a bad habit, and I'm going to help you guys fix that. Now, there's a couple things we need to look at or analyze when it comes to fixing this issue. Number one, is your stance too wide? A lot of times lifters will come to internet fitness or YouTube fitness and they'll see their favorite squatter or their favorite YouTube celebrity squatting with this ultra wide stance, and they'll go wider than they need to. When you go wide with your stance, wherever your foot angle is out here, your knees have to open to match that foot angle. If your stance width is super wide, you're really going to have to push those knees open, and it becomes very, very difficult to get those knees open enough to reach quality depth and to prevent some form of the heels rising and rolling in. And again, this is just going to place stress on your knees and your hips. So watch your stance. I want you guys to practice this. Just kind of stand here, okay? Stand here and pretend like somebody is running at you, like they're going to tackle you. Okay, I just want you to get in a position to brace yourself. Don't think about your foot position. Okay, don't think about how wide your feet are. Just kind of get in a natural leverage position, like someone's running at you, and you're going to brace yourself. Look down. That's about where we should start with our squats. You're not going to push your legs super wide to brace yourself if someone's running at you, and you're not going to keep your feet in really narrow if someone's running at you. You're going to get kind of in a natural bracing position. This is where you want to start as far as width for your squat. So if you're out that wide, just bring it in a little bit. If you're not certain how wide your stance should be, but it looks a little bit too wide on video, move it in an inch and film again and check it. And we're going to repeat this process until we feel like we're in a very natural position for our squats. Now, a second issue we run into is that our stance width might be okay, but our foot angle is way, way aggressive. It's out about 45 degrees. You're walking like a duck, so to speak, and you're trying to squat like a duck. If you have a relatively sane or conventional or reasonable squat stance width, but your feet are angled out more, your knees are going to have to push out even more as you squat, and you're going to almost look like you're doing a plie squat. It can be very difficult to get your knees to open to that aggressive foot angle, and because of this, as you try to reach depth, those heels are going to lift and roll in, and we're going to go on the internet and think we have some form of ankle mobility issue. So watch your video. If your foot angle is very aggressive, just bring it in a little bit, make a small adjustment, film your squats again, and see if you need to make a further adjustment. Now, one of the major contributors to this condition when it comes to squats is just general tentativeness, hesitation. Lifters will kind of push their knees in together as they squat down because they're a little bit hesitant. They're unsure of themselves. I want you to notice that when you do a front squat and the weight is in front of the body, we feel more natural and more comfortable, and our knees generally open up where they need to be. Film yourself on a front squat. Even if you hate the front squats, do some with light weight. You'll notice that your knees kind of naturally open. This is what we want to happen on a back squat. Okay, I want you guys to try this little trick. I want you to sit down in a chair and I want you to clench your glutes. I know it sounds a little bit awkward, but clench your glutes. What do you notice happening? You notice that your knees want to open up or push open. If you relax your glutes, your knees kind of collapse. Now, if you push your knees in, it's hard to push your knees in and clench your glutes. We have to learn to force our knees open or push our knees open as we descend, and that involves a physical effort. It involves focus. You have to focus on pushing your knees open as you descend and not holding them in. You have to focus on pushing your knees out to match the angle of your toes. If you're struggling, try this before you attempt a rep. Just temporarily squeeze your glutes. Just temporarily push your glutes forward. That's kind of a reminder or a cue or a tip to open your knees as you squat. The final piece of advice I have for you is just simply to relax. Relax. What does this mean, relax? Focus on relaxing and just allowing your knees to open up to match the angle of your toes. You want the angle of your thigh to match the angle of your toes. And sometimes we've developed such a mindset of fear or hesitation that we just kind of clench up and clench our knees in. We need to kind of learn to relax a little bit. And I'm not telling you to squat sloppy and dive bomb or anything like that. But during your warm-up sets, allow those knees to open and relax as you descend. You want to control that descent, but you want to just allow those knees to open up to match the angle of your toes. Now, one final tip. When you are under the bar and you have walked back, you need to stop for a second and check the angle of your feet. You need to check that before you descend. You need to make sure that both feet are positioned correctly, that one isn't in front of the other, and that the angles are about the same. If one's angled out like this and one's angled more forward, this can cause issues with your squat as well. So on video, when you're looking at your squat, you can watch for this as well. Are my feet angled equally? If not, I need to get in the habit of looking down and checking the position of my feet just with a quick glance before I perform that first rep. So guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day.